You should have listened more when Father spoke about the importance of gold. Oh, I know it's boring for you. You just wanted to hunt and ride and fight. But I listened, I learned. Highgarden brought us the most powerful army in Essos. The Golden Company. 20,000 men, horses, elephants, I believe.
The Golden Company is not here. They're in Essos. How is a mercenary company in Essos going to help us?
Do you really think Euron Greyjoy turned tail and sailed back to the Iron Islands? Do you think he abandoned the chance to marry the Queen? No one walks away from me. He's sailing with his fleet to Essos. He's going to ferry the Golden Company back here to help us win the war for Westeros.
Hey everyone, you requested a Golden Company video. They're a really cool group of mercenaries from the book. There's a big storyline that they might be including from the TV show, so I'm going to explain why it's relevant to Jon Snow's storyline and why it's so important for Cersei's storyline. Because she says, no one ever walks away from me. Just remember that. And the motto of the Golden Company is our word is as good as gold, as in they've never broken a contract. So as far as she thinks, Cersei has this ace in the hole, an ironclad contract that Euron's helping her execute thanks to the Iron Bank. So if you're finding me for the first time, this is just one of many Season 8 videos that we're going to be talking about in the off-season, so be sure to subscribe to get everything. And there's giveaway stuff that I'll talk about at the end of the video. But the cool thing about the Golden Company is they're essentially a mercenary group started by Targaryen bastards made up of exiled Westerosi lords. So if you're like Ser Jorah and you're exiled for whatever reason, usually that's where you go to find work, because if you're a knight and you're exiled, you have crazy good skills, because even though the TV show didn't show it off a whole lot, Ser Jorah was an anointed knight, as they actually called out during Season 7, so he had crazy good skills, even though he's a little bit older on the TV show now, so we're seeing him later in his life. Although he did show some mad skills up beyond the wall during Episode 6. But the whole thing about the Golden Company is that they're just a lot more trustworthy than the other sellsword companies.
My hand, Qyburn, has made overtures to the Golden Company in Essos.
I know them well. They've helped us recover significant sums from parties who'd fallen into deep arrears.
It's good to hear. I too would like them to recover some things that belong to me.
But as Tycho Nestoris tells Cersei, they use them, they trust them, and if the Iron Bank trusts someone to execute a contract, it means that they are legit. But in the books, we don't really meet any Golden Company characters until Feast for Crows, Book 4, and there's a lot of Dorne plot that gets tied up with it, so obviously the TV show is going to do a slightly different version, and they don't specifically mention that Jorah was a member of the Golden Company, but you may remember that Season 4 moment where Daenerys calls him out.
It's not a question of approval, it's a question of trust.
You neither approve nor trust.
Why would I? The man's a sellsword.
Didn't you fight for the Golden Company before pledging your sword to my brother?
I did.
I trust you.
There are a couple really important book characters that the TV show has cut out or given storylines to other characters that we meet through them. Jon Connington and Aegon, otherwise known as Young Grip. So you have these Golden Company characters that surface, and Arianne Martell, who's one of the Dorne characters the TV show has cut out, gets word that they've broken their contract. Their unbreakable contracts get broken because they're turning to support Aegon's bid for the throne. So he's sort of like this new contender that comes out of nowhere with this seemingly perfect backstory. So it all sounds a little too good to be true, but you have all these exiled Westerosi lords, including Jon Connington, who was Rhaegar Targaryen's childhood friend. He was his best friend growing up. So when Rhaegar died, because Jon Connington supported the crown during Robert's Rebellion, he was exiled. He went and joined the Golden Company. They're in the middle of this campaign in Essos, they drop everything they're doing and then head to Westeros, and they're getting ready to take Storm's End in the books. So they're right there next to the Crown Lands. So it's just another example of a couple different campaigns for people to take the Iron Throne. On the TV show, you just have Daenerys, you have Cersei, and then obviously we have the surprise that Jon Snow is Aegon Targaryen. So here's where we get into theory territory. Remember that Aegon Targaryen is part of the Golden Company in the books. They say screw you to the people that hired them, breaking their unbreakable contracts to back Aegon's bid for the throne. John Connington, one of the leaders of the Golden Company, got part of his storyline from the books given to Ser Jorah, who used to be part of the Golden Company on the TV show. It was a grayscale plot. John Connington gets grayscale, Jorah gets grayscale. Obviously, the TV show had a really weird storyline with Jorah's grayscale. I think that was really just a reason for him to not be around Daenerys. There were some scheduling conflicts with the actors, so they're like, okay, we'll give him this grayscale plot from John Connington, and we'll put him on the sidelines for a couple episodes, then he'll come back to Daenerys. So because there are all these TV show things that are seemingly lining up with book things for the Golden Company, people are now wondering if they're going to break their contract on the TV show with Cersei and back Jon Snow and Daenerys. You just have to remember there are only 6 episodes in Season 8, so I'm not expecting to see them introduce any really big Blackfyre characters. There'll probably be some verbal references to their family, their lineage. So once they learn the truth of what's going on with Daenerys and the son of Rhaegar Targaryen, somebody who they really loved, then in the way that you've seen the Dothraki support Daenerys, we might see the Golden Company support them. Now, think about it this way. How big are the Dothraki characters during Season 7? They were very important. We got to see some really badass scenes. Like Episode 4 was an amazing Dothraki scene. But how many of them are like really fleshed out characters now? Like how many big lines of dialogue? They're more like menacing characters in the background. You see them step up when Jon Snow tries to approach the throne. They're meant to be very threatening, but none of them get really big character moments. They just get big battle scenes. So I wouldn't be surprised if they treat the Golden Company characters the same way, like where they're really badass. Like you see Grey Worm in the finale. It's just like a very brief moment. You see all these unsullied legions lined up. It looks super badass, but we're so late in the game that you just don't expect too many new big characters to get a lot of big moments. But if the Golden Company is going to betray Cersei, there's a number of ways that they could choose to accomplish that and have a couple of character moments. Like Ser Jorah talks to them, and they believe that Daenerys will give them back their titles and their lands if they help her out. So in the books, they really do love this Aegon Targaryen character, but part of the idea is that they're exiled Westerosi lords. They want to come home, they want to be pardoned, and Daenerys, once she's on the throne, can do that for them. Or even Jon, depending on who you think's going to wind up on the Iron Throne. And because so many people are going to die during Season 8, just think about all the empty castles of Westeros. That's sort of a running joke on the TV show right now. Like when they rolled up to Dragonstone in the first episode, it was empty. This huge strategic position was just completely empty. Storm's End is completely empty right now. Even Highgarden is completely empty. There are so many castles just ripe for the taking for all these exiled Westerosi lords to come back if they want them. But let me know in the comments, do you think because Ser Jorah got the John Connington plot in the books, and because Aegon, the person in the books that the Golden Company breaks their contract to support, is now sort of Jon Snow on the TV show, do you think that they'll simplify Golden Company on the TV show and just have them break their contract with Cersei to go add to Daenerys' forces as they're fighting the Night King? Remember that line of dialogue from Cersei. This is sort of her tagline now. No one walks away from me. Then what happens right after that? Jaime just walks right away. He covers up his golden hand, although that's mostly for winter protection because it's really cold and because he doesn't want people on the road seeing him, identifying him as Jaime Lannister and trying to kill him or steal everything from him. There is a Jaime video that I was planning on making, so why don't I just do that tomorrow? I'll talk about his Season 8 plot because there's so much awesome Bran reunion stuff that I'm excited about. Jaime and Bran in the same room again. Jaime and Brienne. Jaime and pretty much everybody up at Winterfell. But hopefully that explains TV show Golden Company a little bit and how they might rope in some old book plot that they've already skipped over. The whole thing with the Blackfyres, the history, Bittersteel, I'm not expecting them to dig too deep into that because they've only talked briefly about the Blackfyres. They haven't referenced the Blackfyre Rebellion that much, but we can talk about Blackfyres, Golden Company, Bittersteel, Daemon Blackfyre in a future bonus video. So let me know if you want me to do that in the comments. There's a bunch of stuff coming up too, so make sure you click the bell to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss anything. And I'll say congratulations to the last giveaway winner, Mario Andre. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. While you wait for everything, click here for my new Clegane Bowl video, and you can click here for my other Season 8 videos. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.